Do you actually have a court order that orders Mr. Smith to pay child support to Miss Smith?
Yes.
You do? No offense, your interpretation is not the same thing as me reading it specifically from the court order, okay?
So he doesn't owe me child support?
Not after May 21st, not after May of 2021, he doesn't. Whatever he owed you.
Still have Matthew. You don't owe me nothing.
It's in the District Court of Newton County, Texas, and it's in the interest of Barry Grace and Matthew Smith. Both parties are now present.
How is Matthew covered with health insurance?
I have Medicaid.
And has Mr. Smith paid you any money directly?
No, ma'am.
Since your last order? Okay. Did you have any safety concerns with your personal information being in this order?
No, ma'am.
I pass this witness, Your Honor. Mr. Smith, where are you working?
I'm working at Excel Mulching in Carthage, Texas. Well, that's where their office is.
How much are you making per hour?
Making $25 an hour.
And how many hours a week do you work?
I've only been working 50 for last month or so. Generally, we work 60 hours, but sometimes, like now, it's just slow, so we're only working 50.
Do you have any health insurance available through your employer?
I'm pretty sure that they offer it, but I haven't been here long enough that they've offered it to me.
How long have you been there?
Getting close to 90 days.
At this time, I asked the court to take judicial notice of the prior order.
The court will take judicial notice of its own file.
Were you working at Excel Mulching at the time of the last order in 2019?
I'm not sure what order that was. That's when they added some behind payments to it or something.
Have you previously worked at Excel Mulching?
Yes, ma'am. I've worked here on and off since 2013.
Okay, you've been back there for the last 90 days.
Yes, ma'am. My kind of work pipeline, you start a job, and once it's over, you have to find another job. Might last a couple months, might last 9 or 10 months,
I pass this witness, Your Honor.
I'll call you next witness.
I have no more witnesses, and I want to pretty much non-suit the modification and just get a confirmation of arrears.
Do you actually have a court order that orders Mr. Smith to pay child support to Miss Smith?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, Your Honor.
When was that signed?
That was signed November the 20th of 2019.
All right. Let's see if you actually have that. Y'all be patient with me for just 1 second, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I got a court order signed by the judge on September the 11th of 2019. In this court order, it says that apparently there was some earlier custody issues between Mr. and Miss Smith and some third parties.
Yes, sir.
All right. So in this new custody issue from 2019,
the new custody.
That's okay, Miss Smith. I've got the paperwork right in front of me. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I don't. No offense, your interpretation is not the same thing as me reading it specifically from the court order. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And there was also one titled Nunc of Prior Order. That was after that one.
All right. So there were 2 children in the court order, Gracie and Matthew. And Miss Smith was named as the primary joint managed conservator. Mr. Smith was named as a possessory conservator. Amended order, it said that he was supposed to pay her $750 a month.
Yes, Your Honor.
Beginning October 1st. Okay. And the state has non-suited its request for modification?
Yes, because when we originally filed it, his wages were a lot lower, and now they've kind of gotten back to similar.
As soon as he got back on his feet, they tried to take more money. But a legal detail in the court order stopped that.
As soon as Grace graduated from high school. Mr. Smith, when did Grace graduate from high school?
That's what I was going to tell you, Your Honor. In 2020, she's married now, and she's been living with her husband for 2 years. She lived with me at the end of 2019 for about 6 months.
Okay,
that's when she graduated.
That doesn't answer my question, Mr. Smith. When did Grace graduate from high school?
2020, I believe.
Okay, so that means her child support would have ended in November, in in October of 2020, even though she graduated 4 or 5 months before that. All right. So
We do need to
October of
modify.
2020.
And that was my question.
And unfortunately, your pay record is also incorrect, Ms. Hill Leonard, because
Yeah.
your pay record continues this child support, which should have stopped on October the 30th of 2020.
Okay.
I mean, you
The
started.
state does ask for the modification, and we'll just have to get the pay record fixed.
Ms. Smith is still not joining us. Mr. Smith, can you still hear me? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. So look, this is what we got here. I got one child that's still under the age of 18,
Yes, sir.
and you need to be paying child support for that child.
Yes, sir.
But unfortunately, the court order that was done in 2019 didn't order you to pay child support for that child,
Right.
because the court order says that you pay $750 a month until any child. Oh, wait, that might be her. Look, that is her. Miss Smith, I have reviewed all of the prior court orders in this case, and there is a major problem with the court order that was done in 2019. Okay. I'm going to put this up on the screen so you can see it. You see where it says that Mr. Barry Glenn Smith Jr. is supposed to pay you $750 a month beginning October the 1st?
Yes, sir.
You see right there where it has the number 1. You see where it has, you see where it has
Okay,
the,
so the child reaches 18 years of age, because I have
Yeah.
2 that are now 18.
well, yeah, well, the problem is, you see where it says any child reaches? You see where that says by 1?
Uh-huh.
All right. That means when any of the 2 children you had from this court order ages out, his child support stops.
Well, that's why I haven't been getting any.
It may be. I just know that the court order says what it says. So Mr. Smith's child support should have ended in October of 2020 when Grace turned 18.
Well, she didn't graduate till May.
Oh, she didn't graduate till the next May 2021.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well then it should go through May of 2021, but it's supposed to stop then.
But why when I still, I mean, I get, why was it written like that, I guess is my question.
I don't
So does
know.
that mean,
I'm not the attorney who wrote it, so I don't know why it was written that way.
okay. So he doesn't owe me child support?
Not after May 21st, not after May of 2021, he doesn't. Whatever he owed
I
you.
still have Matthew.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The court order, the way this court order is written, he's not ordered to pay you child support for that child. All right. Ms. Smith is here. Ms. Hill Leonard, you can call your next witness.
Miss Smith,
Yes.
just to make sure, you said that when did Grace graduate?
I don't know. She was born in 2002, so 21 probably is how that works. That's when, and it was in May when she graduated.
Okay.
You don't owe me nothing. System is not for people to
I
do.
pass this witness, Your Honor, and I call Miss Shaw. Where do you work?
I work for the Office of the Attorney General.
And what is your role in the Office of the Attorney General?
I'm a financial specialist.
Okay. And in your role, are you able to obtain income information for the non-custodial parents?
I am.
And what have you found for the past year for Mr. Smith?
I found that he averaged $57,302.32 for the last 4 quarters.
And so the monthly average was
$4,775.19.
Were there any other court orders for any other children?
No, I did not find any.
Okay. I pass this witness, Your Honor.
Your next witness.
I have no more witnesses.
She seems to forget that child support is for the child, not her personal paycheck. If she had to list every expense, we'd probably see how little goes to the kid.
A copy of the pay record in your case with Mr. Smith. Is it okay if I look at this pay record?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith, do you have any objection to me looking at this pay record?
No, sir.
All right. So I've already taken judicial notice of the court's file, which means I have looked at and reviewed all the prior orders in this case. The court is going to note on the record that the court order from 2019 did change custody of the children and gave the children back to Ms. Smith. However, the court order ordered Mr. Smith to pay child support until any of the two children graduated. That would mean when Grace emancipated, Mr. Smith's child support effectively terminated. Now, Ms. Smith said that she thinks that Grace graduated in 2021. Mr. Smith, do you agree with that? Do you think she graduated the year after she turned 18, which is pretty normal?
Actually, she dropped out of public school and she finished.
She still got a
Oh, hold on,
high
Ms.
school
Smith,
diploma.
Miss Smith, don't interrupt. All right,
Tell him to
Mr.
tell the
Smith.
facts.
Well, Miss Smith,
was-
if you give me a chance, I'll come back to you and let you answer the questions your way, okay?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Smith, you said she dropped out of high school. When did she drop out of high school?
I'm not exactly sure, Your Honor.
Ah,
She
so that
did
doesn't help me,
complete.
Mr. Smith. If you don't know when that happened, it doesn't help me, okay?
It was her senior year. She finished with a high school diploma through a home education type course thing.
But if you can't tell me when that happened, Mr. Smith, then
In
I can't
2020, I'm almost positive she graduated when she was 2020.
Miss Smith, do you know whether or not Grace dropped out of high school?
Yes, we went out of public school and we went to a home school where I paid
Okay.
for her education, and that's how
Okay.
she.
When did she drop out of public school?
I believe she went her whole senior year to to private homeschool.
Okay. So you don't think that she was enrolled her last year in school in a public school?
No, sir, she wasn't. It was through a private school.
Okay. Through a private school, like a
Well-
homeschool.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
She is correct. I just
That's
looked
okay,
back on-
that's okay, Mr. Smith. I haven't asked you anything else yet, okay?
Yes, sir.
Look, guys, you lived through this. I didn't. So I'm trying to catch up with 3 years of history in about 15 minutes. So let me make sure that the history I catch up with is correct, okay?
Yes, sir.
Why did it take the state so long to get Miss Smith to cooperate with their lawsuit?
Because I went to the actual place in Port Arthur or somewhere down there where I'm regioned at to go to the office, and they said I didn't have to do anything, and so I don't know. I'm just now getting emails to do this, so
Okay.
I don't know. What do you mean it's taking me so long?
Well, and this is a lawsuit, Miss Smith, where the state of Texas the AG's office represents themselves. They don't represent either you or Mr. Smith. So
Yes, sir.
in a modification suit, I have the right to go back all the way back to the date the parties were served. Unfortunately, Miss Smith, you were not served with this case until September the 28th of 2022. How did you say that Matthew was covered for insurance, Miss Smith?
Texas Medicaid.
Okay. And Mr. Smith, do you have any other children besides Matthew
Grace and
that are
Barry.
still underage?
These are